Super Robo Tyson Alpha 3! It's your boy Zappa King the Giant Robots, and welcome back to Super Robot Wars Alpha 3. Previously, had to replay a stage, which came out to a total of 3 times to get what should have been the right amount of kills for Milia and Waltfeld and DaCosta, so that we nail all the secrets. That said, also did a little bit of research of what many of these Gundam kids will learn in the future. Some of them will be benched, some of them will not. Let's go shoot a robot. Over here in Africa. Waltfeld is meeting with a couple of new voluntary transfers to his unit, Izak and Diaka. Waltfeld's somewhat concerned about Izak, who looks to be in rather poor shape, but Izak whips off his bandages to show nothing worse than a cool-ass scar. Waltfeld says that in his experience, warriors can erase battle scars, but choose not to do so for a reason. He looks forward to seeing Izak's reason, whatever it may be, driving him to great things. Izak averts his great face with a grimace, and Waltfeld says that such a reaction tends to mean that the wound is a badge of shame. Izak asks him to cut that short and talk about where the alpha numbers and the legged one are. I guess the Archangel does look like it's got legs on it? Waltfeld blithely replies that they're in the palm of his hand, but that he's going to need there's more than one way to skin a cat. In other words, Waltfeld can't really begrudge Kusal the trouble that our people gave him. Coordinators excuse themselves to go work on their machines, and Izak is in full Delano Vendetta mode. DaCosta returns to discuss the new acquisitions with Waltfeld. He suspects that they'll actually only be in the way given that they've only got space combat experience. DaCosta points out that the red uniforms mark them as elites, but Waltfeld says the bigger problem is that he never liked Kusal. Back on the Archangel, our squad get the report on Tashu. The city razed to the ground and not a single casualty. One thing seems clear about the serious turn of events. It wasn't done to lure our people in, but more likely to crush the will of the resistance who are based there. Misato's come to admire the deft footwork needed to attack our people in the morning and burn a city in the afternoon. Tiger really does seem to be living up to his nickname, though Notaro can't figure out why he didn't just crush the resistance in a head-on assault. Burning says that the Tiger is beyond a top-tier class warfighter, but also clings, I think cleaves is the wrong word here, clings to a set of morals. In his judgment, the Tiger is not the sort to let civilians get caught in the crossfire. Kigali, however, doesn't want to hear any talk about the Tiger being a moralist. He did, after all, burn down an entire city and actually helped our people out to buy time to do it. Kigali storms out to get more practice in the Sky Grasper, and she plans to bring the Tiger to the ground herself. Amuro notes that Kigali seems to be quite impatient. Mu relates that she and Kira apparently spoke at some length last night. Amuro personally apologizes for allowing matters to deteriorate so far amongst the pilots, but Burning says that Amuro can't be blamed for the actions of a bunch of hormonal, unrefined warriors. Yeah, that's fair. Misato is more concerned about the Psycho Bitch's affair, which notes can happen regardless of outside circumstances. Bruce seems genuinely, almost naively, puzzled by how such a thing could occur, especially given that the Psycho Bitch was supposedly Sai's girlfriend. Mu figures that it must have gotten started since descending to Earth, since there simply wasn't any time before, and would be inclined to agree with Maru that it came out of the blue. But Misato disagrees, saying that despite her tender years, that girl seemingly already sees herself as a woman, and in other words, she was the instigator, as Misato puts it. Does anyone really figure Kira the type to lay a hand on his friend's girl? As for the others' assent, Misato sighs and says that the expression all fair in love is mainly used by women. The problem, in her view, is that the affair isn't a simple matter of romance, else none of us would have any place to intervene. Wu isn't sure if Kira is acting strange because... Wu isn't sure if Kira began acting strange and thus entered the affair, or entered the affair first and then started acting strange, because either way he fears for Kira's well-being. Both Muru and Amuro grimly admit to being lulled in by his superlative piloting skills and neglecting to care for his emotional side. And Mu flatly states that all the adults who wanted him to fight are equally to blame, and lest we forget, he's not the only kid his age being asked to participate in the alpha numbers. You know, the majority of any of the Gundam kids, I think, at most, at best, Camille is the oldest of them. Then you have to factor in all of, like, the Gundam Wing kids, the Shangri-La kids, the Chosen Children. Huh. Apparently there's a lot more of that conversation than I expected. Anyway, Mo is sure that our irresponsible expectation may have driven Kira into a corner, and when Maru asks for a suggestion, he hasworks and says he's not likely to be a good reference. At least, not with that look on his face, Misato says. Amuro points out that everyone faces similar worries, just that in Kira's case, his special circumstances as a coordinator seem to have built a wall within Kira's heart, without Kira even realizing it. Who is too optimistic about our ability to break down that wall, but Misato has a great mission that might do to lift his spirits, going for fucking groceries. The few friendly faces to keep him from his depression. As such, we are here, with Shinji, marveling at finding such a bustling, energetic city in the middle of the desert. Kigali says that that's all a ruse. This town belongs to the Desert Tiger, and anyone who dissents here is ruthlessly shot. Also can't figure out why on earth Misato would send them all to a place like this, or rather, why Misato specifically chose this party makeup. Kira looks downcast as Kigali informs us that is her line. Why does she have to haul a bunch of amateurs like us here? Ray gets it. Camouflage, since our crew make up the most unlikely looking group of elite warriors the world has seen in some time. Still, it's hardly the case that Japanese middle schoolers just show up in Africa out of nowhere. Kakali is ready for another tongue lashing when Shinji suggests Kakali show them where they can get breakfast. Probably also hungry, Kigali relents, smiling for perhaps the first time in a hot minute. After all, everybody gets irritable when they're hungry. Kira confides to Shinji that he's amazed that Shinji was able to placate her with his words, and Shinji says wryly that he's had a lot of practice with Asuka. Kira smiles at this, and Shinji's glad to see that Misato's read on the situation was dead on. Kigali's chosen breakfast food today is Donel kebab, or something like. Rain will predictably stick to the veggies only, and Karen asks how to go about eating this tasty looking dish. Kigali tells him to put chili sauce on it. Don't force that on people. But just then the nearby diner intervenes. He is adamant that yogurt sauce is the way to go with this dish, going as far to say that not putting yogurt sauce on it is like an insult to the kebab. This is the Rambarel incident.
常識というよりももっとこう、そう、ヨーグルトソースをかけないなんてこの料理に対する冒涜だよ。
なんなんだお前は。
Kigali primly tells him that no stranger has the right to cast aspirations on her style of eating and squeezes a big-ass glob of chili sauce right on Kira's plate.
見ず知らずの男に私の食べ方をとやかく言われる筋合いはない。
なんという。
Of course, they don't know it's Walt felt, but that clearly says Waldo Feruto.
まい。ほらお前もケバブにはチリソースが当たり前だ。
The mysterious man tries to stop her from correcting Kira as well, and the ensuing tug of war over the plate ends up with Kigali.
何をするんだ。引っ込んでろ。
君こそ何をする。この。
She ends up wearing the sauce instead. The man also loses his hat and sunglasses, revealing the weathered, handsome features of the desert tiger himself. As his identity begins to sink in for the rest of the squad, Waltfield smiles disarmingly and insists on making amends for his rudeness. As such, later on, Kira and are sitting together in his mansion about to savor some of his famous coffee. Kira's happily sending the others back early with all of our groceries, also thinking to himself that he needed Shinji to get word back to the others just in case, you know, shit goes down. As Kira takes advantage of Waltfield's request to make himself at home, he notices a wall relief of Evidence 01. He tells Waltfield that he's never seen the real thing, but just then Bosser of all people barges in. Waltfield also found him alone in the desert, playing his heart out to the desert vastness by himself, and thus invited him to his home. Bosser is suffering from a broken guitar strings, and Waltfield's coffee seems to at least partially make amends. Waltfield returns to the dialogues about Evidence 01, apparently some kind of winged space creature. He notes the existence of such a creature isn't all that strange with all the aliens invading Earth and whatnot, but it's still drawn to somehow to its flying majesty. Bosra adds that it's creatures like this that make space interesting, and Kira thinks that Bosra seems like someone who's seen deep space with his own eyes. Haha! Waltfeld would have preferred something like Evidence 01 coming to Earth instead of the guests he actually got, and Bosra says that if we don't like what you come to, the only chase you get is to get in motion yourself. If you don't like what's coming, go out and get your shit. And Bosra in fact does just that, thanking Waltfield for the coffee on his way out the door. Kira isn't sure himself what to make of the coffee. Probably not a coffee drinker. Waltfeld rightly says that this grown-up flavor for all of his pleasures is a bit of a pain too. That applies to the Evidence of 01 as well. He says that mankind apparently knew of the existence of extraterrestrial life before starting to colonize. This was a hopeful thing, an opening of possibilities, a sign that mankind had somewhere to advance to. It was in fact the impetus for the whole space age, the genesis of coordinators, and ultimately this very war that they're fighting. His gaze momentarily abstracted. Waltfeld ponders Bosser's words about moving if you don't like waiting. They're the first thing he's heard in a very long time, and that gives him some hope. It's then that Aisha comes in, having considerably cleaned up Kigali. Here, oh, okay, dolled up, I see. Kira is very much at a loss for words, especially with an irritable and self-conscious Kigali to deal with. Walt felt and Aisha laugh at his reaction. Walt felt opines that the dress fits Kigali perfectly, that she's the very model of beauty. That is, provided she could keep the provincially vulgar mouth shut. Kigali counters by asking what the tiger's up to. Is making girls wear dresses just another one of his diversions? By this, she means wandering around town incognito, or giving the citizenry time to escape before burning down their home. Walt Philp tells her he likes her eyes, sharp as a razor. He tells the fuming girl that her eyes bespeak the willingness to attack without fear of death. Just the sort of thing people do when placed in circumstances they can't bear living under any longer. He asks her if she'd prefer death to life, and then seeks Kira's view. How does he, as a mobile suit pilot, think this war can be ended? Both Kira and Kigali wonder how he knew that they were in the alpha numbers. Don't be stupid. He then laughs and says that too much directness can be trouble. After abating, he tells them that, unlike sports, war has no time limit or particular rules. Given that, how can one designate winners and losers? What signifies that time is up? At this, he draws a gun, asking with dangerous mildness whether victory comes from utterly wiping out the enemy. As Kira tenses up for action, Waltfield advises him to give it a rest. There's no way even a berserker like him could make it out of here alive. He claims that everyone in this house is a coordinator like Kira, which comes much to a surprise to Kigali. Waltfeld says here that he's seen him fight twice. He rates him as acceptable even compared to his other compatriots. Certainly, Waltfeld isn't big enough fool to buy the line he's been fed that Kira's skills are those of a natural. In any case, though, Waltfield doesn't know Kira's reasons for turning on his fellows. He does know that Kira's piloting has made him Waltfeld's enemy. I couldn't read it. He then smiles, asking once again whether the only way to end war is to really obliterate the opposition. Waltfield then shrugs, telling Kira that he's here today as a guest, in a home and not a battlefield. He tells Kira to go home, saying that he had fun chatting. He doesn't know whether the results will be good or ill. Last words to Kira are, "See you on the battlefield." Back on guard duty at the ship, Kira's fretting over Waltfield's questions. This bitch comes over to give some sympathy for today's hardship, and then starts musing about how stupid Sai is. Kira tries to get in on her, but she happily goes on then, basting Sai for a fool for fighting Kira even though he couldn't possibly win. Kira looks away, telling her gently but firmly to go back to the damn boat. Mumbling apology that he just wants to be alone right now. She actually complies, leaving Kira recalling the showdown with Camille. He knows full well the truth of Camille's words. He's not the only one fighting, and that his power alone avails zero. It is then that Ko and Shinji show up with a bit of coffee to help keep their young sentry warm in the chill of the desert night. Misato whipped up a batch from instant powder, and when Ko grimaces at it, Shinji smiles and says it's probably brewed that way to help keep them awake. Boy, Ko actually suspects that Misato just likes her coffee this way, and after a moment Shinji realizes that, hey, you're probably right. After a pause, Kira asks Ko about all the times he's tangled with the desert tiger. What is the tiger like? Ko allows that's kind of a difficult question, and tries to sum it up in a single word. Big. just in force of arms, but everything the man does seems somehow grand in scale. Ko asks Kira to tell him about the tiger since they just met. Nothing else. You and he may be trading life and death on the battlefield. Kira, downcast, says that Blaga said that people are better off not knowing their enemies personally, and Ko agrees that that's probably correct. Nonetheless, Ko feels that knowing who it is you're fighting is necessary. He tells Kira about a certain man that he had been chasing for some time out of mind. At first, Ko merely hated him, but when he finally learned what ideals drove his foe to fight, he discovered his own purpose for standing on the battlefield. Ko is, of course, speaking of the lad, Anavel Gato! The man once numbered among the ZEON as the Nightmare of Solomon. Ko confides in Kira that before he met Gato, he fought out of duty as a soldier, but duty and obligation are separate from the meaning behind why one fights, as Shinji can attest. He once piloted his Eva at the whims of the world around him, but now is firmly here of his own free will. That's what it means to fight. To him, to fight. Kira still hesitates, but Shinji tells him that every member of the Alpha number is in the same boat. Many of its members aren't even soldiers, but rather people that somehow got swept up in all the fighting. Shinji had his doubts, tried to run away from it all on a few occasions, but at the end of the day, all he found was his own world. Cowering there would not make anyone extend him their hand. Ko suspects Kira is beating himself inside and tells him that he's not the only one grappling with these feelings. He says that those feelings tend to make one feel trapped, losing sight of their surroundings and feeling as though they've got to do everything themselves. To feel that they've got to try harder, in isolation. His treacherous line of thought clouds one's eyes and thoughts, making one lose sight to the meaning behind their fight. Making them, in short, feel as though they're being forced to fight. Kira once again tries to protest, but Ko smiles and tells him that there's no need to rush. He's kind of worries about the sort of thing that another person's words can just magically cure, wave your wand or go to sweets, and now fuck everything, you just want candy. Pointing out to the east, he says that dawn's about to break and predicts that it's going to be another hot day, which is right as the sirens popped off. God damn it, Waltfeld! Stage 22, Saijin no Hate. Beyond the clouds of sand, the end of the sandstorm. The squads are ready. Pillars can back. Alright. Rue notified everyone speaks. The enemy is going to try for a decisive battle here. Said in reverse, if we can defeat the Desert Tiger here, not only can we escape Africa, but also quell fighting this entire region. Millie knows full well that Zapt is stolen in Battle 7, and we have to steal it right the fuck back. This means the assistance of all the Alpha numbers, and Amelia seem to have gotten very good at using their excuse of protecting her citizens' safety to fly combat missions. He's even had Kinryu's mech repainted, Oh, that's why I couldn't take her out of it. And lightly but firmly tells Gamma that she'll brook no talk back from him on the matter. Bullet, meanwhile, tries to reassure Kira, offering that while he really isn't qualified to say so, confusion in battle is to be avoided at all costs. Kira crispy agrees, and Asuka's glad that Shinji's little pep talk, or whatever the fuck boy bonding they had, appears to have at least gotten through a little. He's still reserving judgment, of course. Enemy approaching! When the enemy appears, we notice a couple of Gundams we tangled with in space. It would appear that they have followed. Walfeld addresses us all with some important news regarding Battle 7. As we know, the Zaft have it in their grasp, and he requests that we all give up the matching City 7, along with associating rights for governing its population of colonists. He says further that if we were to hand over City 7, the brass are prepared to let us move freely through their territory. Milia is not finna have that shit, giving Waltfield an earfeel that his demands to hand over the self-governing colonyship are tantamount to an invasion. Waltfeld says that he agrees completely, but tells her that as someone who's traveled through space, she should know that this isn't the time for such rhetoric. In any case, we have no reason to give in to the demands. Maru tells everyone the time has come to settle this once and for all. Waltfeld laments that he seems to have upset us, saying that he had hoped to do his duty without spilling any blood. DaCosta says that that's rather futile considering this is, war, you dumbass! Waltfeld resigns to fulfilling his duty by destroying of the alpha numbers after all, drawing a cry of anguish from Yukira. In 5 turns, destroy the Lesseps. But also, Kira has to pop off Seed and defeat Waltfeld. Meaning we have to bring him up to 140 morale. I think I was looking for Axel. Done Axel. I'll run that 6%. Yo, he got that hit. 6%. 6%.
自分たちが特別だなんて思っているから。そんなバカな。
さい味わってもらうわよ。
くそ、次はこうはいかんぞ。
Plan here is to have Kira kind of draw fire from one side, and then have everyone else come up the other way and plow through. So ideally, Kira gets in the fucking middle of it. Oh. Fucking rude. That's better. Oh, I still need to see if I can change the audio or not.
我らこそ新たな人類だ。相手の動きをよく見ればこれくらい。
Shield?
限界まで撃つんだ。直撃。
One, the Mega Rider has a shield. Two, Mondo has shield?
ぜ。
足手まといにはならない。
我らが力思い知るがいい。へえ、聞いてないみたい。
Yes, Keith is in the big gun.
今までの俺じゃないんだ。そこが
Because the boys. Okay. Mondo. You don't have a shield skill. Don't have barriers. You don't even have items. What the fuck happened? Fucking weird. Okay. Team 9 needs healing and the full Rainier. Okay, so yeah. Hell yeah. Shield number 3 from Ansha. What is that spell again? Morale. Does not work with... Got it. Ah, you need some accuracy, sir. Ray.
しろよ。
そんなバカな。
Excellent. Barriers. Alright, Kara. I'd be talking about how the gym puts in work. Put in work. The gym, the Jigen.
そこ
Like, look at that Jigen go! You do it!
ザフトに栄光あれ。
Kara gets focus. Fuck right off, missing. Lock. Ooh, good level up. Support defend level 2. Damn.
この力は一体プラントの脅威となるものにしよう。
かわせた。
Shield level 2. Bonk. Excellent. Oh, they can just fly like that. All right. I'm just going to run those numbers as is. I need to check sound settings.
そう。
高尾市長の力見せてあげるわよ。
Beam! Nice.
そう次はこうはいかんぞ。
Okay. Option. I can change it. Really? What do I have so far? That sounds good.
Get ready.
Oh, I can use that music even though they're not here yet. Hey! Nah. Sick. New type level 2 for Mondo. Excellent. GG. Not so GG. Swish! With those barriers. Time to talk shit to Iza. Alright, where are you at, Kira? 137. Cool. Damn. Should have known better. Beside
必ず戻ってくるぞ。
Ooh, he's got hot blood. Shield level 3. Squad 4 is in pretty bad shape. And Super Gun. So, who's in this robot again? Ko. Stay safe, Ko. off needs to be touched. Seven and time to start moving people forward. Boat in.
時代はお前たちのような兵士を必要とはしていない。ターゲットロックオン。排除開始。
Bunker Buster. Prevail level 3. Hot water cup. And Alright, non-beam damage. go. Okay, it's 141. Do I need 150 then? Oh, ignore your barrier. Hot blood. $44. Huh. Alright, book. Akira has 140 morale. What are we doing? Okay. It's right. No, we're fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I just need to. I just did that. Now it's time to destroy Wolfeld. I just had to make sure he had 140 morale before we got this far. Could have used your shield at any time there, Judo. At any time. Beam. Give him the beam. Invincible, invincible, invincible. Barriers. Locked on for the boy. Bro, what are you doing? Okay. Ah.
ぞ赤服はザフトの宝だ。やらせん。
さあ行くわよ。こちらの火力を甘く見ないことね。ターゲットロック、全て打ち尽くす。
貴様なんぞにこんなダメージを。行くぞナチュラルども。
この私に避けられない攻撃などないわ。両円グリーンで敵機を攻撃します。了解。両円グリーン、テー
Yeah. I'll just take that one. Well then, what am I doing? Gotta get all. Oh, just wipe them out. Let's get financed.
上げ20、両円グリーンスタンバイ。両円グリーン1番2番、テ
The
ー
Colgate beam. Wait, could Duo survive that if he was healed? Oh, god damn it. Yes, probably. Hold on. One step at a time. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can survive that. Now, back at it.
両円グリーンで敵機を攻撃します。了解。両円グリーン、停！
Money. And Duo survived. Nino! Hell yeah. Okay, noted, noted. Wait, no, don't do that. And that's why I didn't want to use Hot Blood. Oh, it's probably just not post me, right? Yeah, cannot post me. Ooh, Hilton never ate it. Blast. Get tuned. Yeah, that's the jam. Okay, those are bullets.
今までの俺じゃないんだ。俺だって。マジで撃墜なのかよ。おい。
Multi-sensor. Support level 2. Goodbye, Dierka. Oh.
This一撃で落としてみせる。俺がなんでこんな目に。落ちろ。見える。そこ。
Alright. Stay safe, Mondo. Oh, I'll take that. I was gonna take it. Yeah, sure. Ugh. Okay, stay safe. Get out of here, Isa. Hybrid Ama. Something I think I need to put on that Mega Rider. Oh. I will run that number. I don't care how bad it is. Get the Maganak in there. They're missiles, you can cut them down! Bruh.
僕は一人で戦ってるんじゃないんだ。頼むよ、僕のサンドロック。安いだ、頼みます。
Squad up! Hey, we got one of them! Take it! Hot blood for Kusuha. Oh, what? Going after Shinji, what? See, reinforcement. Okay, no. Now, I need to verify. Does Kira need to get shoot down here, or just on the second half? Not that part. It doesn't have to be. Kira. Shinji. Meaning. Wait, I don't think I need to give you accuracy against this. Oh, bruh.
もんか。
シンジがオフェンス、優等生がバックアップ。いいわね。
分かったわ。
アスカ、綾波、やるよ。
砂漠の虎の看板を下ろさなくてはならないようだ。
いつでも行けますよ隊長。
よし、ミサイル発射。
聞いてない。
Barriers. Shinji gets that hot blood. Got him. Money. A adapter. Exp. Hot blood! Skill point get! Once we beat down the Lesseps, Waltfeld tells Sakosa to send out the evacuation signal. Costa hesitates, but Waltfeld tells her that this battle's already been decided. Their best move to gather the survivors and regroup at Carpentaria. He also tells Aisha to clear out too, but she says she'd rather die first. Waltfeld smiles, saying that she must be as foolish as he is himself. And they emerge in Waltfeld's personal machine. Kira pleads with him to retreat, saying this battle's already over, but Waltfeld reminds him sternly that there are no rules or clear time limits in war. As Kira begins to hesitate, Ko urges him to fight, saying that he doesn't... As Kira hesitates, Ko urges him to fight, saying that if he doesn't, he's the one who's going to die here. He tells Kira to find the means to prove the tiger wrong within himself, or else just leave this place completely. Well, Bill likes Ko's speech, having heard of the Gundam pilot who fought the Nightmare of Solomon to a standstill. However, he says that Ko seems to have chosen the path of destruction. Ko tells him that he's got things to fight for, and everyone agrees that it's time to end it here and now, or there can be no going forward. Kira finds that there's no other choice but to fight, just as Waltfeld said. Fight until one or the other of them is annihilated. Awaken. Seed up. Wait, no, not yours. Oh, we could do it again, but... there are people in your squad that need to go. $72. Okay, 7. Not the best numbers. Well enough. What do we got? What do we got? Cheer. Bless. I'm gonna get the name of that spell right eventually. But, I keep wanting to say the wrong one. Intuition. Now, intuition is the right one. I always had the wrong one. Whatever Compact had. Does Kigali have enough? No, you ain't got shit. There another attune? How many attune? Oh, we got. Look it. Do it. Also. Get some axe spin there. One more safety save because I'm a weirdo. Got it.
ここまでか。無念だよ。
Custom OS. Big X. Sword level 3. Hot blood for Kira. Guts up. Aisha and Waltfeld confirmed it'll be hard for Waltfeld to fight Kira, the sort of boy he would normally see as a friend, but fuck it, this is war. I missed that line somewhere. Waltfeld still won't be done though, and demands Kira show him the answer that he has found. We're already in seed. Strike's power rises to dangerous levels as Moo calls out to Kira. Waltfield is going to try to strike a victorious blow. But Strike's power. The Strike's power didn't rise, it fell. Oh. Counter. Kira counterattacks and finishes off the Lago. Which was Waltfield's personal machine ever since he entered the army. Kira cries out in English that he never.
殺したくなんかないのに。
Range 5. Plant. Patrick receives word of Waltfield's squad's destruction. May take some heat off Patrick, letting his Operation Spirit Break and attack on the Panama base proceed. Patrick tells Siegel that the Zaft are moving as one, something Siegel would do well not to forget. Siegel responds that hatred is spreading along with the embers of war, and just how far does Patrick intend that to go? He reminds Patrick that the Earth is being invaded by aliens. But Patrick blithely says that they're all the more reason he's got to bring a swift and decisive end to this war. He tells Siegel that the coordinators are a new strain and need not coexist with the naturals, but Siegel angrily points out that those coordinators are in fact stuck in traffic right now, unable to move. Just how does that make them a new strain of humanity? Patrick figures that scientific knowledge can push the people and their offspring ever further forward, but Siegel tells him that life is born, not created. Patrick poo-poos on this sort of old-fashioned thinking, saying that the people want is a better tomorrow. A sort of polyanalytic worldview is something that Patrick says that there's no returning to normalcy from, and that he's accelerating the timetable at Gibraltar. Plans to explain Lax's absence by saying that she is ill, which Siegel can only accede to meekly. Siegel tells him inwardly that the coordinators haven't evolved one bit. Crusaders then woken from some manner of nightmare hallucinations by a phone call. And of course they have to hide his face. We know it's him, but you can't show him without the mask yet. It's too soon. Phone call tells him that Spirit Break has been approved, but whoever's giving the order has a true version of the operation in mind, and asks Croissant to see to it. Croissant is sure that whoever he's addressing is surely to succeed Siegel in his position very soon now, and asks the caller to hold up his as a bargain. Apparently Siegel is talking to Patrick, and Croissant wants him to continue getting carried away. Meanwhile, Max is having it out with the Zaft brass at Gibraltar. He points out that Battle 7 was granted independence the moment it left the Earth. On those grounds, Max requests that the Zaft unhand the ship immediately. The Zaft commander says dryly that Max doesn't seem to be listening to his explanation of the situation on Earth. He wants Max's help in the fight for independence from the Federation government. Max concedes that the Zaft seem to have some legitimate grievances, and that all that is not right with the Federation actions. But he wants this Zaft guy to hear what he's saying too. It's not just the Earth sphere, but the whole galaxy is in danger. In short, Max wants the Earthlings to put aside their stupid bullshit and band together. This Zaft guy figures the best way to do that is to topple the Federation government first and foremost. Max realizes that this shit's going in circles. With negotiations deadlocked, the Zaft commander says that he'll be using Battle 7 for military purposes, including it in a giant blitzkrieg in 3 days' time. Max realizes this guy is up to the same nonsense that the Titans once were, and curtly tells the man to do whatever the fuck he wants. In return, Max wants the safety of his crew guaranteed, and the man will do so, keeping them as guests during his operation. As Zaft Man leaves, Max thinks to himself that he's made the worst decision a captain could make. But he thinks with a glint in his eye and a devious smile on his lips, not the sort to throw his own monkey wrench into the works. Oh, he's not the sort to not. He gonna fuck shit up. Dumbass. The commander reports to Marge. I don't recognize your ass. That matters are settled with Battle 7. He also says the plan has confirmed Lacus' absence. Apparently, Sharon Apple will just have to fill in with Battle 7 as her stage. Zast asks if Sharon's properly debugged or not. And Myung angrily says that Sharon already has an independent personality. He doesn't want Sharon talked about like a mere piece of software. Zaft is sure that just some mere electronic trick, but Myung retorts that she could say the same about the propaganda toting Sharon. Marge tells her to cool it and not upset their sponsor, and points out that if not for certain dealings he did under the table, Sharon would never have debuted at all. Zaft commander harumphs a bit and tells him that he's counting on them to get him results. Young inwardly tells Isamungo that she's really gotten mixed in with the wrong crowd. Fuck. Well then. Oh, hey, Burning's up in 3rd place. Hell yeah. Of course, Miru is in 1st place. She done mapped the hell out of everyone. Hopefully, I've done all of the steps to grab that Lego. Next time, the end of the route split, and hopefully some hot shit's coming forward. Good night, Space Nuts.